Today I'm lucky enough to talk to Olympic harlequins and GP7 star and the founder of the Cromptons Club, Grace Crompton. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for talking to me today. Such an honor to be able to speak to you. But yeah, I'm really good, thank you. Had a busy few weeks, doing loads of coaching and loads of playing. So a rugby filled a few weeks, but in myself, I'm all good, thank you.
That's good. So let's jump straight into the Cromptons Club. What is it? Can you tell us what it is?
Yes, absolutely. So I recently made my own little company called the Crompton Club. Um, I kind of founded it out of passion, really. I found rugby by chance. I found it quite late in my career. I found it when I was 17 and I'm 24 now, so not relatively that long ago. But I just had an amazing teacher who showed me the game, and it made me realize that not everyone is as lucky to have that one teacher at school. So I wanted to just create another opportunity for girls to play, a place where they feel welcome, included. It's a diverse place, anyone is welcome. Um, and an opportunity for girls to redefine what they think rugby means. You know, we're not having to conform to those stereotypical kind of standards. I made the main color pink for a reason. I wanted to kind of emphasize that you can be girly, you can be whoever you want to be, and also still play rugby. So yeah, I just wanted to create another space where more girls can play and more opportunities. I've kind of founded it in a way that it's good for grassroots players, girls that have never played before, but also girls that want to aim high and get to the international level. So I've tried to branch it at everyone, so everyone feels like at some point in their journey they're able to come to the Crompton Club and hopefully grow and develop as a player and a person.
Can you talk me through a typical Crompton Club session?
Oh, good question. Um, so let's say if it's a Crompton Club session with the girls I do on a Friday. So my Friday night sessions are for beginners, and the girls that rock up love it. They're super keen, and the session is just filled with games, running around, fun exercises, a couple of passing races, loads of bulldog, um, loads of different fun games to kind of naturally include the rugby skills that would take place, but not overload them with too much information because. As you and I both know, rugby is a very confusing sport, and as a beginner, it can be quite overwhelming. So, I'm very keen on making it fun, enjoyable, and keep them coming back because that is the main thing for me. I want them to associate rugby with fun.
Hmm.
And if they believe rugby is fun, then that is all I care about. Um, it might sacrifice their learning a little bit because we're not, being as hard and fast with our rules. But again, I think what keeps girls in the game in the short term and the long term is enjoyment. So throughout every single session I do, I'm always thinking about, is this fun? Are they going to enjoy it? And usually, so far, it's worked. So
Is there a group you enjoy coaching the most?
um, I would say that I coach, or I'm lucky enough to coach such a range of girls and a couple of boys as well. I love teaching the older girls, so like under 18 age, because you're able to have, you know, a nice connection. You're able to talk to them, talk about how their life's going outside of rugby a little bit more and develop that kind of relationship with them. But then on the other hand, the younger girls, like 9, 10, 11, they are normally quite new to the sport and very impressionable. And everything that you say, they just absorb and they take it all in. And they're like a sponge. So it's nice being able to kind of have that influence on them as well. So I wouldn't say I necessarily have a favorite, a bit of a cop out answer, sorry. But yeah, there's so many benefits to each kind of group that I teach, and they're all wonderful.
What's your favourite thing about coaching?
Um, I think my favorite thing about coaching is it's so rewarding. And you might coach someone once and never see them again, or you might coach them regularly for years and years and years. But I think either way, you've hopefully had a positive impact on that person's day, on that person's perception of rugby, um, on that person's life in the long term. And being able to have that power, I think, is quite a privilege and something that shouldn't be taken lightly. Um, Being able to positively influence someone's perception on such a male dominated sport is quite powerful, and making girls or whoever feel that they're welcome and included is so rewarding. And when they're smiling after they got something right, or they run and tell you some awesome news, it's like, oh my goodness, I started that fire, like I lit the flames. So very rewarding in terms of how it makes me feel, and making other people happy just kind of makes me happy. So it's like a constant cycle.
I've been helping Dad coach for a while, and I'm now starting to do it by myself. What's the most important trait you need to be a good coach?
Oh, lovely question. Um, so I'm still learning myself. I'm like you, very much learning as we go along, and love coaching. And I think it's important that you never stop learning. That is the main thing I would say. Um, in terms of what's helped me is I always ask questions, and I did a lot of observation when I was younger. So I'd always go and watch other people's sessions and see how the coaches speak to the players, how the coaches organize a drill, how the coaches explain a drill. Um, I would always make sure to ask the players how they're feeling. You know, do you want to do this? Do you not want to do this? Are you guys having fun? Talking to them and having that kind of like human relationship is really important. And trying to understand them on a deeper level rather than just a player sometimes allows you to get more out of them. Um, so trying to develop some relationships with the people you're coaching is really important. And stealing ideas from other coaches. Don't know if you've kind of realized, but a lot of the drills that are out there, you just steal from other people. Coaching is all about taking, observing, stealing out everyone's ideas and developing them into your own. So being a sponge, learning as you go, and observing loads of other people coaching is also a really fast way to learn.
Who is the best coach you've ever had and why?
I've been lucky enough to have so many coaches. In the kind of elite rugby world, usually a coach doesn't hang around for long because they move on, they develop, they grow themselves. So you never really stick with a coach for that long. Um, I've had some amazing coaches. James Rodwell, we call him Rodders. He kind of taught us when it was England Sevens um, for about 2 years. He was amazing. At that period in time, I was very new to rugby and didn't really understand what was going on, but he never made me once feel like embarrassed that I didn't really know what was going on. He made me feel very comfortable, very safe. His drills that he did were specific to what we were doing, so they're very match specific. I felt like I could talk to him like a person and not be worried about saying something wrong. He was very approachable, and an all-round nice person. And I think that's the general theme with coaches. I feel like the more approachable and easier to talk to they are, the more I get out of them. Um, there are some coaches in the past that I've been a bit nervous to talk to, and we don't really have that strong of a relationship, and that reflects kind of how I was playing at the time, because obviously I didn't have that trust with my coach, so I felt a little bit in myself. Whereas with other coaches, the more connected I feel and trusted by my coach, then the better you play. And I think it's as simple as that. You've got to feel like you trust your coach and understand them as a person and not just a coach.
Um, what do you enjoy the most about watching girls play rugby?
Ooh. Do you know what I love? I love when girls beat boys. I don't know if I should say that, but I find it so satisfying because we don't get a lot of opportunity to kind of
Yeah.
shine. And when they do, or if someone judges someone by how they may look, and then they absolutely destroy them in a tackle, that feeling of, oh my goodness, like you should not judge a book by its cover. I love that feeling, and I love girls surprising people every day. I think it's great.
Um, what are the top three girls? Wait, no, hold on. What are the top three things girls get from playing rugby?
Friendship. I've got most of all my amazing friends. Somehow they're linked through rugby. Friendship in terms of different people, different ages, different backgrounds, different cultures. Um, the kind of diversity of people that you meet in rugby is amazing. I'd say they also get challenge because rugby's not easy. Um, you might be really good at running, but you might not be good at tackling. So there's always something to work on. And that kind of keeps you going and keeps you motivated because you know the work's never done and there's always that challenge that you can try and get to. Lastly, enjoyment. It's fun. Well, it should be fun. And if it's not, maybe have a rethink because it should be fun. Friendship, challenge, and enjoyment for me is what rugby gives you. And I think it provides a feeling that not many other sports do. So I think it's really special in that way.
What's one main thing that you've learned from playing rugby?
Gosh, I've learned that you can't kind of let things get to you. You can't take things personally. When I first started playing, um, I would get really upset if I missed a tackle, if I dropped a ball, if I let my team down, or what I thought was letting my team down. If that happened, I would get upset. I'd cry. I'd feel bad about myself. I'd have bad thoughts. But as time went on, and I had an amazing support system, and I talked to loads of people about it, and talked to more experienced players, and I'd look around me, and they'd just brush it off. They'd miss a tackle, and they'd be like, "Oh, well, get to go again." And I was like, wow, that's such a brilliant mindset to have because it's pretty much like life, really. Stuff goes wrong, but you just kind of got to carry on. And I think I was letting stuff get to me when I shouldn't have let it get to me. And now I feel like I have that in life a little bit where stuff happens, stuff goes wrong, but you've just got to keep going and learn from what happened, but not dwell on it. Move on and face the next opportunity that's coming.
Obviously you play a lot of rugby yourself. How is that going this season?
Yes, really good, thank you. I had shoulder surgery back in April, so good few months ago now. So I recovered from that for a little bit, which took me about 7 months. So I'm back from that now, which is brilliant. And I have been playing for Harlequins a little bit. Obviously, some of the Sevens girls' lives have changed a little bit since kind of the change in the program since last April. So a lot of us are now full time at our PWR clubs. Um, for me, I'm figuring out which part of rugby I like the most. And I think I've realised that I love sevens. I've always loved sevens. I like 15s, but I love sevens. And that is what I've realised the past few months. So the next few months, I'm going to be doing a little bit of sevens on the World Series, which will be really exciting. Doing back, kind of going back to what I love and playing a game that makes me happy. So I'm going to be doing a bit of that. But to be honest, my own rugby has slightly slipped. Now I found a new passion for coaching. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay to let things kind of go up and down. Doesn't mean I'm any less of an athlete, any less of a rugby player, which I think is also important to kind of emphasize to other people if they're trying to do both, is very much possible. And it doesn't make you one or the other. So, yeah, trying to do both, but I'm enjoying it.
Um, how do you balance playing rugby and coaching?
It's very tricky because coaching, it does take a lot of energy, but also so does playing. So it involves a lot of discipline, a lot of organization. I write a lot of things down. I've got a lot of lists, a lot of lists that I kind of organize my life with. Um, but also knowing that it's best to kind of put your energy where you're getting a lot of energy back. So if for whatever reason I'm not getting a lot of energy or I'm not getting much enjoyment from my own rugby, I can put more energy into my coaching. And then vice versa, if I'm not getting much energy back from my coaching, I can do a little bit more rugby. So balancing your time and allowing your time to shift is a brilliant way of managing kind of how you're feeling at the time, not having to stick to a strict schedule. And if you don't go to one session, really bad person. It's not the case at all. It's very flexible. Um, and generally, people are understanding. If you say, do you know what, I am knackered and I can't train tonight, I need to look after myself and prioritize my own health. Um, Usually, people are quite understanding. Um, so, yeah, it's just managing how you feel and a lot of organization.
As a player and a coach, what advice would you give to a player that that wants to approach a coach about something but is a little nervous?
Oh, good question. Firstly, I'd be honest. I'd say, hi, I'm nervous to say what I'm about to say. And usually, as a coach, you take them to somewhere quiet, get them to sit down, and immediately kind of the energy shifts. So being super honest with how you're feeling, saying I'm a bit scared to say this, I don't want it to change your perception of me. I'm a bit nervous, and being super honest is usually the best way to be. I think by being honest, it only makes your relationship with that coach stronger. Always saying how you feel is super important, but also finding the right time to have those conversations. For example, if it was quite a serious conversation, you wouldn't want to have that middle of a session. You could say before the session, hi, X, would it be okay to have a chat after the session? I just want to talk to you about something. And then that person knows that they want to kind of engage in a conversation with you. Hopefully they'll approach you and it'll already have started and you won't have to think about it. But letting them know that you want to have a conversation and you want to be honest usually is the best policy.
You said you picked up rugby in school. How important is it to give more girls access to rugby in school?
Absolutely. I am really passionate about this and I'm trying to change things at the moment. I currently work in a school and I'm trying to make it a little bit more approachable and a bit more opportunities for girls there. It's not part or historically hasn't really been part of the national PE curriculum. We've been playing, netball, hockey, football's starting to bleed in there as well as cricket, which is amazing. And I think rugby is the next sport that needs to come along. So I'm sure it's a matter of time, but we've got to keep pushing it. And I'd say if you're a girl at school and you don't have the opportunity, ask your teachers, get your teachers to get a rugby club going. I'm sure they'd be very accommodating. Any opportunity to be physical and be active is a win. So if you are someone at school, ask your teachers, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to kind of accommodate.
What's the best game you've ever played in?
Ooh, um, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a game, but running out at the Olympics for the first time was pretty crazy. There was 68,000 people there. And I've never heard a noise quite like that. It was so surreal. It didn't feel real at all. Um, but such an amazing feeling, kind of having all those people there just to watch a standalone women's tournament. It was awesome.
What is a target you're aiming for at the moment?
In terms of my coaching, I'd love to get my level three. I'd love to get my level three coaching award because I feel like that is a good reflection of how far I've come as quite a new coach. In terms of my playing, um, for me, it would be LA Olympics. However, we need to qualify first. So I guess that's the short term goal qualify for the next Olympics, um, and then hopefully see what happens.
What would you say to a girl that wants to start coaching but she doesn't know how?
Oh, I would say that she needs to speak to her if she has a coach, speak to her coach and say, how is best that I get into it? Ask for their opinion. Usually they're super helpful because club coaches are brilliant. They're all volunteers most of the time and they love the game so much and so they want to help. Um, a couple of ideas could be that you observe. So rather than training, you stand to the side and watch your coach coach. It's a really good way to learn, like we mentioned previously, watching how they speak, how they act, how they talk. That's a lovely way to learn, and it's no pressure on you because you're just watching. And then drip feed in responsibility. Say, oh, is it okay if I run this drill? Is it okay if I run that drill? Um, Building up the confidence with speaking to a group of people takes time. So you want to be able to feel like you're in a safe place to do that without having the whole weight of a 2 hour session on your shoulders. So really talking to your coach, talk to your club, maybe your teachers at school. There'll be millions of ways that you can get involved in coaching, but you've just got to start the conversation.
What is your favorite drill or skill to do as a coach?
Oh, I love coaching speed and agility. Maybe it's because I'm a winger and I love running myself. But coaching speed and agility is my favorite thing. I love it. I think you really see the benefits of having a specific speed and agility coach. I've had one myself as a player, and it's incredible because you don't really get that time at club or during another training session when it's just you and another coach. It's quite a special amount of time. And working on a specific drill, working on a step, working on your high max speed and high velocity. Um, yeah, I really, really enjoy that. So definitely that.
Have you got a question you want to fire at Frankie? Because I like to try and put Frankie under pressure as well sometimes.
Oh, nice. Love that. Um, Frankie, in terms of all the different parts of your life right now, so you've got your social media, you've got your coaching, and your playing. What would you say one is your favorite and why?
Oh, that's really hard because I like them all. My top two has to be um social media and coaching because I like all the stuff that social media gets me to do, and I love seeing like there's stuff from social media that I wouldn't be able to do if I didn't do it. Like go to the PWR final and do social media and talk to loads of people like you and everyone. I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't do my social media. And I think coaching as well because I coach little kids and I like to see the way that their face lights up when we do something, and I like when they go, "Oh, I really like this," and they come in and they're really excited to do it and everything.
That's awesome. That is so good. And there's so many parts of the game that you can be a part of. You don't necessarily have
Mm.
to play. You can coach, you can ref, you can do social media. There's so many different parts of it. And you're already in the top three out of the four. So well done.
I've got no more questions. Thank you so much.
Amazing. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Brilliant
Yeah.
questions.